Welcome.
Gosh, didn't see you again. Hi.
Hello.
What's
It
up?
is
Welcome back.
welcome back. We are currently filming right after our game, and it's a little bit salty to say to myself. Right.
Well, no spoilers because
Well,
Yeah. You
no,
can't
but also,
spoil.
I mean, yeah, true. If you want to know what happens, watch our last
take a
video.
look.
Take a look. See. So as of now, I mean, as this video is uploaded, we're gonna be upon finals week. Wow.
True.
True. So if you don't know by the title, yes, we are talking about what the title is.
Yes.
So we're gonna start like we always do with
Book
introductions.
adaptations.
Yes, book adaptations.
Just in
We're gonna
case
start
they need
just,
to know.
Yeah.
A
just in case
refresher.
you can't read.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
Yeah, we're not ableist here. So
Obviously.
Yeah.
obviously. Okay, so we're gonna start like we always do with introductions and question of the day. Question of the day today is a fun one. It's a doozy. We got an embarrassing story. Just any embarrassing story, just for
Okay.
funsies, you know,
For fun.
and for fun. Also, I mean, never mind. Yeah, just embarrassing stories. Okay, who wants to go first?
I guess. Oh my gosh. Wait, I was like thinking about stories while you were like introducing. I was like, oh no. Well, I guess
I'm
I'll go
excited.
first. My name is Isabella, and my embarrassing stories always consist of me throwing up in public places. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say first. Okay, so like there's one time when I went to like the local fair when I was like a sophomore in high school, I think. And I do this every time because like I'm not a huge ride person, especially like spinny rides make me nauseous every time, but like everyone else always wants to go on them. So I'm like, okay, fine, like I'll do it. And like I think I'll be fine. But I'm not fine.
Oh God.
And then we went
I
on
do
this spinny
love
ride and I
myself
felt
a
like
spinning ride.
I
it
like
made
them
me
too, but they also make me
nauseous the
nauseous.
rest of the time. And
Mhm.
then I thought that I could like handle it. And then I spent the whole day like just trying to get through it without throwing up. And then we went on a ride where we were laying on our stomachs kind of thing.
Ooh.
And then it was like spinning us again. And then I threw up
On the
like
ride.
all over myself on the ride in front of like all the people that were waiting
No.
to get on the ride. And like this one, like I started crying because I was so embarrassed.
I would cry.
And like it was so embarrassing. And like then this one lady gave me like a hard candy or like a gum or something to like chew on, like
Aw.
so she was like being really nice about it, but I was like so embarrassed because like when you throw up in front of like all of those people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I've thrown up at theme parks as well. I don't need to just, you don't, unless you want to know all my barfing stories, but we have other things to talk about. But that's just the one that stands out because it was really
That
embarrassing.
is. Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
a good one though.
Good one.
Crying
Thank
in public
you.
is always
Thank you
It's
for
like,
sharing.
oh,
disheartening.
it's the worst because then you feel nauseous the whole time.
Yeah,
But then
you
when
just
you
feel
actually throw
gross.
up, you feel better, but then like
You're
you
so
feel embarrassed. So now
Yeah.
you're upset about it.
Mhm.
So you
I
can't win.
Consequences.
Yeah,
We need
I
bad
mean,
breath.
I puked one time like in a classroom. That was tough. Like,
I've never done
I
that
mean, it
before
wasn't in a
though.
classroom, but I just remember like I had to run out and like someone brought a crock in for me, and then I was like in third grade,
What happened?
and I don't. I just think I
Did
just
you, like,
wasn't
eat
feeling well
something?
that. No, I think I just wasn't feeling well that day.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, my tummy hurts, and my mom's like, fucking pussy, go to school. Like, I was
Yeah.
kidding. She was like, you're fine, go to school, and
And
I
you were
came.
not fine.
And then I just
You were not
remember
fine.
my shout out to like my elementary school friend Morgan. She stood next to me and like she took me to the nurse's office. Even I remember crying and I was like, oh, like I'm so sorry.
There's always that kid in class that like throws up randomly
Yeah.
when you're in elementary school. You were that kid.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know my throw up story outside of the calf freshman year.
What?
But you don't.
I didn't. No. What the heck?
Long story short, I had like a really bad stomach bug and I thought I was over it. So I went to the calf, but like all the smells were like making me really nauseous.
Oh,
I was like
gosh.
walking out because I thought it was like gonna come out the other end. So I was like going back to my dorm.
mm-hmm.
And then I did not make it far and I just yacked everywhere.
Oh,
And this was like the beginning
God.
of freshman year too. So I was like just starting to make friends. And I remember CJ, if you're watching, maybe you remember this. I was like just starting to become friends with CJ, and she was like walking to the cafe and she saw me, like the aftermath. I was like, she was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you good?" And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
even though I clearly was not. So yeah.
I did not know that. Well, at least the whole freshman body didn't know that because I did not know until today. So
People saw it and laughed at me.
I mean, they're probably business majors.
Did you throw up like on the floor or like in a trash
It
can?
was in like the foliage, like outside of the cafe.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, I stole your
Like they haven't thrown up before, I'm sure.
exactly.
They've had to throw up in the bushes a few times.
Yeah, like yeah.
We're just helping, like, you know, when you say
We're
embarrassing stories,
normalizing your
we'll
throw up,
share.
Isabella.
Yeah.
Literally normalize throwing up in public places. Everyone does it. If you need to do it, then let it out. Like,
Better out than in.
that's what I say.
Exactly.
Better out than in, exactly.
Yeah. There's some embarrassing stories I will not tell in this recording, but yeah.
Hi, my name is Hunter.
Hi, Hunter.
And my embarrassing story, I think I've told you guys this story maybe, but it's kind of like my go-to for this question. But I was a camp counselor in the summer of 2019, and basically you like eat lunch outside every day and you sit with your bunk. And so I was getting food, and then I was like the last one in my bunk to get food. So I was like walking down the stairs to like where my whole bunk was sitting. So they were all like looking at me like, "Oh, hey Hunter, like what's up?" Like my co-counselors, my campers, like the whole 9 yards. And I was like about to set my plate down, and it was a good lunch day too, so I was like really excited to eat, and I was hungry. I was setting it down, and all of a sudden I feel like something on my back, and I was like, and like a bird took the fattest shit on my back. And like all of my girls saw it, and like all of my co-counselors saw it, and I could like feel it. Like I could still feel it now. Like it was like gross because it was like wet, disgusting. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Was it your bare, like your skin?
No, it was like on my t-shirt. Like thank
Okay.
God. But like I was so disgusted. And basically what happened was one of my co-counselors, Nikki, if you're watching this, shout out to you. She so graciously like took napkins and was like wiping it off of me, but then it was still like on me and I felt gross. So like one of my other co-counselors, Kat, you know Kat, we like
oh my gosh,
we went back to her bunk, and she just like accompanied me and like laughed at me while I like washed my shirt and changed my shirt.
No.
So yeah, that's my embarrassing story. And all my girls, like, I did not hear the end of it for the whole summer.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
Oh my, I know that feeling of like
it's so gross
having a bird poop on you, and it's like,
and I was so excited to eat too, and then I had to like
right before lunch.
Oh yeah.
I never had that happen to me, but I heard people happen to me. But I heard it's good luck. It's good luck, y'all.
I've heard it's good luck too, so maybe it was.
Maybe it's good luck. Maybe never mind.
Good luck. All right.
Mine isn't gross, but
well,
it's just like kind of. Hi, my name's Anji. My name's Anji.
Hi,
like Hakuna Matata. And my embarrassing story isn't gross, but like it is pretty embarrassing.
I know. I like how both of ours were like.
I know.
I did share my another gross one previously. So, but I guess because this is why I thought of this question, because I was thinking of this because I've been watching an anime. It's about volleyball. Right. So my senior year of high school, my junior year of high school, and my friend's senior year of high school, Eric, shout out to him. We would go to the volleyball games, the boys' volleyball games, and they were intense. I got way into them. As mentioned previously, I'm a competitive person, so best believe I almost got into fights with like the parents next to me because I would get like so into it. And we were in support of one of my friend Eric's like classmate, and he had a really cool name. I won't say his name, but he was number 8, our lucky number 8.
Right.
So we started going to a lot of the games, and they went to like CIF, which is like not nationals, but like regionals. And so it was a really competitive game. It's back to back. And Wilson, my high school, they lost sadly. And so we felt really bad because it was like a lot of, it's always sad when you lose your last game because like, especially for the seniors, and like the guy we were supporting was a senior. And so I don't really know him. We go up to him. My friend Eric's like, "Oh, you did so well." And he gives him a hug. And then he sees me and he's like, And like I don't know him, but like, oh, you played so well, and he gives me a hug too. And then the next day, my friend Eric has class with him, and he was like, oh, your friend, right, Angelique? She made a really weird noise when when I hugged her, because he was really cute. And so basically, apparently when he hugged me, I just let out a like I let out a little squeal because I was like so thrown off and like excited for the hug he gave me. And now he just knows me as like the weird girl who squeals when he.
So funny.
Oh my god.
But like, and I didn't know I did it. Apparently, like I didn't know till that day. So that's what I was thinking about, and I was like, I need to share that story.
That's so funny.
I have a lot of like really embarrassing, like me interacting with like other people's stories, and
that is so good. Wow. Well.
Wow. On that note,
down below your embarrassing story.
Yeah, comment down below your embarrassing
and or your throw up in public story.
Yeah, throw up in public story.
Love a good throw up in public story.
Yeah, I remember when I was in Paris, I accidentally paid for the sandwich twice, and I was really embarrassed. Like I was too scared.
I fell on the stairs too when I was abroad.
I probably did something stupid.
Like, I slipped and hit my butt so hard. No. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story.
I don't think so. That's funny.
But also because in Paris you have to like, there's a latch for the metro sometimes. So you have to like undo the latch. And I remember there's a big crowd behind me, and I was like, couldn't do it. Like I remember at one point someone was like no, but like actually I ended up doing it, but like someone was still like going to their hand to like to me, and I'm like,
that's so funny.
No, it's the worst, like when you have to deal with like train things, because like it's just like so awkward, because like everyone like knows what they're doing, and if you're trying to like figure things out, like, the train doors closed on me one time, and I was trying to get out, and I was like, I had to keep hitting the button. It was like, I was like, if this train starts going right now,
my worst nightmare.
No, literally, like, and we had to be at like the station at a certain time, and the doors like closed on me, and I was like, bye, I guess.
When I was going to see Hunter in Cannes, I kept getting my seat wrong, like when I was on the train, and like I kept like, and then people kept coming up to me being like, and I was like, because I was like, I did not know how the trains work, so they were like kind of saying like, you're in the wrong seat, dumb girl. But I was like, no. And then I remember like I had no idea how the trains worked, because like where the cart numbers were, so I was freaking out. Even when Hunter was taking me back, I was like, I have no idea what like my cart number is. So I just kind of like hopped on the train, and I kind of just asked questions, and like I hope no one would take my seat.
Yeah.
But so let's get it. We can have an episode about embarrassing stories, but thank you for sticking around for the introduction. So today we are going to talk about book adaptations. Let's get on with it.
Because I feel like we like on the show, and also like in real life, we talk a lot about movies and TV that are like from books that we like adapted from books that we like. So we thought like it's a pretty broad category, and there's a lot of different ways that you could go about it. So let's chat.
Yes. So we will start with the lovely Isabella.
Well, right off the bat,
start the bang.
I gotta start off really strong. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity to talk about the Hunger Games, obviously. And like so many, I mean, obviously most franchises are based off of books. Movies in general are always just based off of books. And this was kind of like, I would say like after Harry Potter, like this was like the book franchise that just like captivated an entire generation. And like it was just crazy, like because the movie was coming out when we were in 6th grade.
Are you gonna say Twilight?
Would you like to add?
I have a point.
Yeah. What about Twilight?
I was thinking about that too.
See, I just wasn't a Twilight girl.
Twilight came out first though. This was like a generation, because like Twilight I feel like was more older, because there's sex.
But Twilight
not like not
Twilight was just like
our generation.
Like romance.
Our generation, yeah.
But
I think our generation.
Harry Potter are more like it's a culture, and it's like a world. And it's like
because I feel like boys and girls like the Hunger Games. Twilight was more like girl. It
was just like who's team art? Like what are they? Edward and Jacob.
Like I just remember like when Twilight came out, like no one, because we were like in second grade, so like no one was like talking about it, but like this was the first time that I remember like going to school and like
Mhm.
everyone was talking about the Hunger
Yeah.
Games, and like it just like
Mhm.
was like such a big deal.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So
No,
that's
I agree. I
yeah.
agree.
But I do get it, Twilight.
Good point.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Good
No, there's,
point.
I do agree that this was our Twilight. Our Twilight was the
Yeah.
Hunger Games. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
like I didn't get into. I never read the.
Because I
Twilight
wasn't even a
series.
Twilight person. Like
Me
I'm kind of
neither.
like
me
still
neither.
not, to be honest. But so,
I'm a
like,
Twilight
Hunger Games was
person
always like
now.
my thing. I feel like everyone's a Twilight person now, though.
Yeah, it's like circled
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But
But
yeah.
going back to the Hunger Games, I mean, I saw, to give my personal story about the Hunger Games, is that I saw the movie before I read the book, which I know is a no-no, but I wasn't a fan of it at the time because, like, I don't know if my mom ever, like, let me read it or just, like, I don't know. So I saw the movie and I thought it was really good, and then I read the book, and I read the book, like, in a weekend. I read it so fast, and then I read Catching Fire, and then I read Mockingjay, like, really quickly, and I was, like, on board. I was like, this has changed my life. This is so good. It's so fun. And I think what's like about like book adaptations, like they become so like popular is because of like how timeless they are. So like
Yeah.
Hunger Games, like yes, it's a dystopia, like young adult franchise, but like I think it's more relevant today than like ever, to be honest. And like I mean, even like Harry Potter, like I think you can watch that at any point in your life. Hunger Games, you can watch at any point in your life. And like they have this like certain timeless quality to it. And like I think that's why they like work so well. And it's, you know, just it was a good time. I remember so vividly when each new movie was coming out. And like just in general about like book to movie adaptations, like I just don't, when people get really like all up in arms about like what was left out in the movie that like the book has, like I just don't get that, because it's like you can't have like each detail from the book be in the movie. Like some things don't translate well to the screen. You just don't have the time. Like you have to tell a story in 2 hours, where a book has like all the time that it needs to. So it's like I was never one of those people where it was like, oh my god, they left out this detail, like what the heck. Like I hate the movies because like they both have like their own charms to them.
Yeah,
I 100% agree.
Yeah, I just remember too, like I never got that either, or like I never understood. But like also like I guess makes it, yeah, the movie has to be unique in some sort.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah, it can't just be like literally
a
the
carbon
book.
copy.
Yeah. So like I remember in the book, the one key thing I remember is that she takes like 3 chapters to find water or something like that. She takes so long to find like I don't know her name, like she was really thirsty. That's all I remember.
mean,
girl, let's talk about it.
Girl, yeah. I just remember like literally like yes, in the book it was like 2 chapters of like her like looking for water and almost dying of thirst, but then like in the movie it's like the first, like she gets the pack and then like she fills with water, and I was like I just had a lot. I thought that was funny where it's like yes, you took out really into like, you know, you have to do that, but I just find it very entertaining, like shit like that. And like also
even,
like your personal thing, your personal relationship with the book too.
Oh,
you know?
exactly.
And,
like everyone has their own relationship. I mean, even like when they're in the cave at the end, like Katniss finds Peeta and they like hide out in that cave.
Oh my god,
like that happens like for a long time in the book, but like in the movie, like it wasn't like that long. So it's like, you know, you just have to understand that like you can't put everything in it. Like believe me, the cave, juicy, but you know, and
that's
also
such a good part.
I know, it's so good. That's like one of my favorite
thinking about it.
parts. I know, that like made me fall in love.
I remember seeing that in theaters and I was like,
yeah. Did you see it? Did you see the movie before reading the book?
No.
I was trying to remember. I
had it.
I think I read it first.
I like read most of it, but I didn't read the ending because I think I just like ran out of time. So when I got to the theater, it was like, ooh, I know most of the movie, but I don't know the ending. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Maybe just like maybe read up to the very end. I remember that day perfectly though when I saw it. I don't know why I remember it perfectly. So I remember it was 6th grade. I was playing a soccer game. I lost the soccer game, by the way.
Oh no, so she was pissed. You already know she's pissed.
Yeah, I was pissed off. I remember we played against a pink team too. I was like,
fuck the pink team.
Like, And I remember, yeah, exactly. And I remember like me and this one girl were just like really at it. Like I think I would be like, I would push her, like I would get the ball past her. I'm like, ha, and then she got past me. She's like, ha,
Oh my
and then
God.
she didn't clap my hand at the end.
Classic.
I remember I was with my middle school friends. I met them up. Our parents were all together. I had wet hair because I just got back from a soccer game and I like took a shower. And I think I was wearing a pink shirt, ironically enough. So. And we were in line waiting to get in. We got in, and yeah, that was all I remember. That's like basically I saw the movie and I got really into it. And I got really scared when the dogs came out because we all know, stay with me, I am a pussy. So I got really scared, and I think like my friend
Movies with a
Keegan,
dog. Hunger Games.
Yes.
yeah, true,
And a
true,
cat.
true.
And a
A
cat.
dog and a cat.
True.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and like I think we can restrict it to just the Hunger Games, but like I think we all agree the second book is better, the second movie's better.
Yeah, we've discussed this before.
Yeah, we discussed this before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to announce I did read the second Hunger Games in a cabin in Montana. So
Artsy.
Really
Get
like
those cabin vibes.
kind of like, and also like the lake we looked out on. It was before the movie came out when I read the second book, but I remember like when you in the beginning when she's like at that lake, the lake kind of
Mhm.
looked like that. So I remember like,
Ooh.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
just
They
feel
filmed
like
it in North Carolina, I think. That's where
I
they
forget the
filmed it.
Hunger Games is filmed in. I just think it's its own thing. Like I don't know. I'm like, it's filmed in
I could
Pan
see
Am. What are
that.
you talking about? Like,
Yeah, obviously it takes place in Pan Am, and the arena is
I mean, yeah,
fake.
they filmed it in Pan Am.
Yeah.
I mean, duh.
But
It's hard
I
to
mean,
believe
yeah,
that location
not much to
somewhere.
say. I mean, there's always so much to say about the Hunger Games,
It's just
but
so
just
important to
that's
I feel like.
yeah.
Like everyone knows about it.
I miss it,
True,
honestly.
yeah.
After we watched Catching
And-
Fire, though, one night I was like, oh, not me going back to my Hunger Games phase.
No,
No, literally. I was like,
I was
it feels
like-
good to be back in
me going on Pinterest every night when I like I didn't have social media, and I would go on Pinterest.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
So,
So
I mean, we talked about Hunger Games before, so we'll probably talk about it again. So, of course, you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
dedicate a lot of time to it. So, yeah, any final words you want to say about the Hunger Games?
overall, it's a very solid book to movie like adaptation. I think
Yeah, I think
they
they do a
capture
really
the vibe and the important scenes very well.
Casting,
Yeah,
great,
casting,
in my opinion.
perfect.
Yeah.
Josh Hutcherson, my
Perfect.
favorite white boy, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
Gale, we don't talk about.
No,
I don't even
He's
know
a-
why I said his name.
he's a war criminal.
Oh, that TikTok.
The TikTok about him being a
Oh
war
my
criminal.
god. I love that guy.
I am obsessed with him. I watch his videos like all the time.
Me too. He's so funny.
I love him. Oh my god.
Maybe we'll post a TikTok here.
Harry Potter and Narnia have had their day. They've had a good time in the spotlight. I've enjoyed seeing the POVs on my For You page. I've enjoyed seeing the movie versions of many YN Wattpad fan fictions. But what I'm here to say is it's time for the Hunger Games. Okay, it is time for Mr. Peter Malark and Mr. Finnick O'Dear to take Draco Malfoy's place. I am ready to see those POVs, but what we're not going to do is speak that G name. Okay, I'm going to say it, that Gale Hawthorne. If I see a POV about that war criminal, let me just tell you, I'm going to report it. I'm going to report it as a hate crime because he does not even enter the frame. Katniss will pick who she thinks she can't survive without. Fuck off, Gale. She can survive on her own. He is anti-feminist and a literal war criminal and killed her sister. Sorry for spoilers, but if you stan Team Gale in 2020, I'm going to assume something's not clicking. Something's not working up here.
And
Right.
next,
Yeah, we can
got-
move on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm next, right?
Yep.
Hey, okay, going in a
Ooh.
completely different route. This book and movie is like very depressing and just sad. But okay. So it's The Hours, and it's kind of like not super known, even though like look at the cast, like all star.
I never heard of it.
It's not, I mean, I've heard of it before, but like, yeah, it's not that well known.
Yeah, like I feel like I talk about it a lot and people don't really like know about it. I think I was introduced to it through the high school film class I took. Or no, it was through my independent study that I did in senior year, and I think my advisor like recommended it to me and I never heard of it before. So we watched it, and it's one of my favorite movies. I love it. I think it's great. And I watched it before I read the book. I don't think I knew that it was like adapted from a book. but basically it takes Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, that book, and it kind of like splits the narrative into 3 different women. So like Nicole Kidman plays Virginia Woolf, and then Julianne Moore plays like a 1950s housewife, and Meryl Streep plays like turn of the century, like New York City woman. And it basically just talks about it deals a lot with like women and mental illness, and like just kind of all of that, and like how even though these women all lived in different times and in like different places, like they all struggle with the same thing. And it's one of those storylines which like I love in movies, when they all come together at the end and it ties in a way that you're just like like I remember the first time I watched it and I like connected the dots. I was like, are you kidding? Like it does such a good job of it. So basically then, actually going back to when I was a camp counselor, I bought the book to bring to camp with me in 2019. So this was like a couple of years after I'd seen it. And I read it, and the book is so beautiful. Like I remember I took a photo of one of the pages when I was reading it at camp, because it was like one of the most beautiful paragraphs I'd ever read in my life. It was something about like describing love or something like that, and it was just like so pretty. And yeah, I think it's super well written, and it's interesting, like kind of what Isabella was talking about, like seeing a movie before you read the book, because it gives you such a different perspective on like, because I think if I read the book, I'd be like, oh, like sort of like, oh, why didn't they put that in, or like blah blah blah. But it made me appreciate the book a lot more, I think, because I was like, because I could picture the characters like actually, and I could like, it was easier to understand because I'd seen it like visually represented. And yeah, I just think it's really well done. Great book and great film. It is very depressing, as I said before. So like be warned if you're gonna watch it, because like you're not gonna feel good. But I think it does a really good job of like portraying women in a light that they're not really portrayed in a lot. And it's very realistic. I enjoy it. I recommend
I need to watch it.
Yeah, I never heard of it until also a little shout out to me for the slideshow. I made Hunter's
Oh
slide.
yeah, thank you.
And I gave Isabella inspiration for her slide. She made
I like it. It's
I
very
have to keep
classy.
it consistent.
So yeah, but no, it makes me really want to see it now. I do like books from different perspectives. Those are always fun. And yeah, I apologize. I cannot say much about this because I've never read it, but I am intrigued. You sold me on it.
Yay. I remember like I wrote about this movie for my final film analysis paper. I wrote about Lost, and I wrote about this movie, I think.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
I remember I roped Fox into watching it with me, because I hadn't like seen it in a while, and I was like, oh, like I have to watch this movie for my film final. Do you want to watch it with me? And I totally forgot I forgot like how upsetting it is, and how just like there are definitely moments that are really tough to watch. So we were just like sitting in his room, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I forgot how sad this is. I was like, oh, it's okay. So like it's okay. It's fun. If I roped you into watching it, I can rope you guys into watching it.
Did it win any Academy Awards or nominated?
Well, the book won the Pulitzer Prize, as you can see, which I actually didn't know until this moment, which is intense.
You're welcome.
Let me see. Probably. I mean, it's a really good movie.
I feel like it was probably nominated for like acting.
Oh, I know. It did win makeup. It won like best makeup because of Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah. I like did not recognize her.
Whatever. I know, right? Let me see.
And now I'm curious.
Let's do a quick search. But yeah,
I was nominated for like a lot.
Oh yeah. Okay. Reception.
Like I'm on IMDb, like, oh, Nicole Kidman won the Oscar.
Oh yeah,
Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore looks so different too.
Yeah. Oh wow, it did win a lot of awards.
Now you know.
Score, acting. 9 nominations at the Oscars. 7 at the Golden Globes. Dang.
Damn, we learn something new every day.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course. The Academy Awards always get it right. What are we talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah,
any final words on the hours? Isabella, you want to say anything?
recommend.
It sounds very interesting. I wish I have seen this before because I'd love to talk about it more.
Hunter always has like Hunter always has like the hidden movies that are like
You do. You have like the hidden gems, I feel like.
Thank you. Oh, that makes me excited.
I have the weird ones that like I've seen, and then you guys are like, just kidding. No, I'm just more of like I'm into the anime. The anime, yeah.
Well, that's a good segue.
Yeah, exactly. And I like animation. I have
segue.
the animation gems. We can say that.
Yeah.
Animation
I think we
recommendations.
all have like our specific thing, but I feel like our baseline, we all tend to like similar things.
Exactly. So, but we get to show each other. Yeah, we get to show each other new things. It's fun. Isabella is the teen drama expert.
Yeah, like she showed us all Dawson's Creek. Like, where would we be?
Exactly. Yeah,
that's kind of like my greatest accomplishment in life. It's like that I introduced you guys to that show.
You know, like it's kind
I am.
Like,
I will like literally.
You're a prophet for Dawson's Creek.
I am. I'm spreading the word.
Yeah, they should pay you. They should sponsor you.
They really should, honestly. Like, I know everything.
What's the guy's name who made it?
Kevin Williamson.
Yeah, he should pay you.
He should pay me. I want to like meet him. Like he's such a legend.
Exactly. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as Hunter said, a segue. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I am the anime girl. So I'm talking about an anime. Yay. Okay.
Segue.
So like, I'm kind of a fake fan. I haven't read the manga, but I did read the first few chapters last night because I was gonna do another manga. I read a lot, but I thought this was really interesting to talk about because there's a little like history to it.
Ooh.
So you have the manga written story and art by Hiromu Arakawa, I think, and I'm pretty sure she's a woman, so a woman animator and author. And so basically it was a manga. Yes, very good manga. Then there was an anime made in 2003. However, the anime gained so much popularity, it eventually caught up to the manga. So it kind of Game of Thrones moment. Game of Thrones moment where it was like, okay, what do we do? We have to so basically Fullmetal Alchemist drifted onto a whole different new segue and because it couldn't follow the storyline material. The manga finished and then a new anime series came out called Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood in 2010. And that followed the storyline more like the manga more accurately, and it has the same ending as the manga. So I thought that was really cool because I know like y'all don't really watch anime, so if I can talk about it. So basically, I may not read the manga, but I have watched both Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is a total of like 100 and something episodes. It is one of my favorite anime, and I will give a full quick little synopsis on it. I started rewatching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I think it's like such a good anime. I think it's like the story is so well written, and it's about so the storyline is it's based on, it's not alchemy, and it's in a world where like alchemy is like kind of like the thing, and like people like have different like techniques and like they interact with it, and they have like the state police, which they're all alchemists, and basically there's a young guy named Edward Elric and his brother Alphonse. So Ed, they're like 13 or 14. I will guess because it's pretty much like you have to kind of know, but basically the manga does this beautifully. I really how the manga introduces it. Because I read the first chapter because I wanted to, come in a little bit prepared. So I read the first chapter, and the first chapter is about basically the way it reveals. So basically, as you see from the middle picture and the third picture, Ed has an automobile arm. He has a mechanical arm, and he has a mechanical leg. So basically, the two sons, their mother dies, and they want to bring her back to life. And basically, they do forbidden human transmutation, which is a no-no in the alchemy world. But basically, by doing this, Ed loses his arm, but then his brother loses his whole body. And basically, Ed saves him by bonding his soul to the piece of armor you see in the anime, in the book too. So basically, the whole manga and the anime is about getting their bodies back to normal. So Ed also like loses his leg for like in exchange for his brother's soul, he gives up his leg. So basically the anime is a lot of like kind of like, it's very much like philosophy, like, oh, like nothing is like the equivalent exchange, like you can't like give something without like, you can't take something without giving something, and talks about philosophy. It questions God, like God's work, because the first chapter of the book is all about like a prophet who's like, I can give people back to life, blah blah blah, but then like he can't, like that's the whole, and like Edward and Alphonse are like confronting him, and like there's a girl who believes like she's gonna get her boyfriend back. It's very sticky. But personally, I really like Brotherhood more, but however with Brotherhood, but it's such a big gap that that like the anime, how Brotherhood starts, it starts as if like, oh, like you know this anime, like it introduces all these characters.
Oh my
My
god.
mom just brought my dogs in. Sorry to
I
interrupt.
love your little doggies. They're so cute.
This is Cass.
Hi, Cass.
Hey, Cass.
Say hi.
Hi, Cass.
She's like, what?
That's
Can't hear us,
Nava's
but
running around.
I
Anyway,
know.
continue.
Yes. So basically, I recommend. Oh, hello.
Oh my
There's
god.
Nava.
They're so cute. I love them so much.
I love them so much. They just like, I feel like
All right.
Hunter reminds me of a dachshund a little bit too.
Ah.
I don't know why.
I love how they look exactly the same, but like they just have different coloring.
Yeah. Hi, ladies.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you for coming. But
Anyway.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood like kind of like throws you in, like you know all these characters already, because it was a big gap, and Fullmetal Alchemist, the first series, is really popular, but I think with Fullmetal Alchemist the ending's a lot more tragic, while Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is more, it's a good ending. But I really recommend Brotherhood.
That's so
yes,
interesting.
it throws you in, but I think it's worth it. My friend Angie and I have been rewatching Brotherhood over the summer, and we love it. I think it's highly recommended. It's pretty much, if you know of anime, you've seen this series before. Like the characters are iconic. And yeah, I used to have a poster of it. Like, no, it's a soap. I cannot praise it highly enough how like well written it is, and like how philosophical it is too. So yeah, it's very very wise.
Heard like a lot of people talking about it. Like I've definitely heard of it before, but that's so interesting. Like I didn't know the history behind it and stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, and like also, I will not go into a deep analysis, but I wanted to shout out a YouTube channel called Low Art, and they like go fully into detail with like the comparison between the manga, the original series, and Brotherhood. Like they go full depth, like half-hour episodes for like each like few bundles an episode, and it's very tragic. It's also dark too. Like I said, like children losing their bodies, and like it's about like there's a war in it.
Dark. I was gonna say, I feel like there's a lot of like subliminal message, or I don't know if subliminal is the right term, but like message, like buried messages.
But the girls should watch a few episodes. I really enjoy this series. Orange High School Host Club, still a first. This is definitely my second favorite. Like when it comes to Orange High School Host Club, I was gonna talk about Oran. I never read the manga, but I was like, maybe this is a chance I will read the manga, but I won't. But yeah, I wanted to share, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Any final words on Fullmetal FMA? I think it's like FMA and then FNMB.
FMA.
Fancy. I'm definitely intrigued.
Yes, did I sell you on it?
About things that I don't know.
I know, I'm learning so many new things.
So I sold you on it. Are you guys gonna maybe watch it one day? If I
maybe I'm interested.
Possibly.
Strap you down.
Possibly.
I love when like animation and like stuff that people would usually categorize as maybe like geared toward children or like geared toward like a different kind of audience, like have these like big meanings and stuff. I like that.
Oh, wait, I do want to mention one other thing. My favorite thing is that some of the villains in the anime, they're named after the 7 deadly sins. So like you have like my favorite one is Envy, and basically Envy can like it's voiced by a woman, but it's a guy character. But he can basically transform and like see other people. So basically like he'll like mimic and like transform. And I think
cool.
Lust, she has like super long nails, and she's like
same.
It's so good. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry just talking about it. It's so good. But yeah, that's all I will say. If I sold you on it, please watch it. It's on Netflix. Both series are on Netflix.
Ooh.
It's a really quick. It's like I said, 50 episodes, but like you get so into it that you can
Say
easily
50?
50 some. It's 50 something episodes, but like you can really like
How long are they?
they're like each 20 minutes. Like they're really quick to like.
That's really long.
The openings.
That's wild.
The openings are like really good too. Like the songs.
Fun.
Maybe I'll show y'all, but like it's so good. Like it's catchy, fun, and that's all I have to say. And then we'll loop back around to another cultural
the
reset.
transition. I
Yeah.
feel like the examples that I'm talking about. The problem is like Angela just gave like a full on like thesis about Full Metal Alchemist. And I'm like, well, I feel like everyone's seen this movie.
I haven't.
You haven't.
I have
haven't.
a story about
not,
it. I have a
like,
story
seen
about it
this
too.
movie, but like
Knows about
you
it.
like you've heard of it. Like you know what it is, and like you know what
Mhm.
happens. Like again, like you know, it captivated a
That
whole
means it's
generation
very-
of people.
It's very culturally relevant.
Mhm.
I feel like it is because like it kind of was our like coming of age story.
It's like
Yeah.
their Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of a good way to put it.
a little bit because I feel like you know, all right, I'm gonna make the connection to Michelle Williams, but like
Please do.
like Dawson's, for example, like that was like the coming of age show for like a generation, but like our generation really didn't like have that.
Yeah.
Except for like maybe like Disney Channel shows, but like that was like different. Like not like
Yeah. They weren't like they were
Wonders or
usually geared
whatever.
towards like they were geared towards gender. There wasn't a show like geared towards like all gender.
like
I don't know if
age
that makes
groups.
Everyone, and it was kind
Yeah.
of like
Exactly.
semi-relatable. Yeah.
So I feel like
Mhm.
The Fault in Our Stars was like grounded in reality, and I feel like it kind of like started the whole like I don't even know like just like how like poetic the lines were and how
Oh,
like
yeah.
everyone loved like that like sappy, you know, all that sappy stuff, I guess. And
Mhm.
I don't know,
It
it
was
was just
very,
like
like-
it was fun. I was one of
Yeah.
those people. I love The Fault in Our Stars.
Were you like a Tumblr girl that was like very into it?
I never like had a Tumblr.
Because I know you talk about
Dude, I was
Hunger Games.
Wait, I need
I
to
was
grab
Pinterest
something.
girl. I was Pinterest
I need to grab
girl.
something, y'all, but keep talking. I'm still
Oh, yeah.
listening.
I could definitely see you as a Pinterest girl.
Oh my god, I was really like I never like I'm the lurker. Like I don't post things, but like I'm always there,
Same.
like looking at things.
Oh yeah, me too.
Exactly.
I'm the same way. Yeah, like I was never a
Yeah.
Tumblr girl. Like I could never get into that. But I was always
Yeah.
like
Like I
looking at
never
things.
exactly.
Like I knew what was up. I just wasn't
Exactly.
contributing.
Like I never felt the need to like, you know, write my whole life story on Tumblr and like talk
Yeah.
about like how this book changed my life, which, you know, believe me, I totally understand that. I just like never did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I always knew what was up. And I would look at
Yeah.
like the fan edits on Pinterest, like oh my,
Oh my
god.
God.
Mhm.
Life was like so simple back then, honestly though.
I think I have a photo. Hold on. Keep talking and I will find this.
I remember like
I just
I
have it
remember
written in
seeing
memory.
this movie came out when we were in 8th grade, I think, and I remember seeing the movie and like sobbing my
8th
eyes
grade?
out because I was so over dramatic when I saw
Mhm.
movies and would just like cry so unnecessarily
this day.
hard. I mean, yeah, like still me. I get too into it. It's a problem. But I feel like because like Hunger Games is very like gritty, dystopian, all that stuff. And then Fault in Our Stars was like it was tragic and just like very poetic and like I mean obviously
Yeah.
then John Green wrote like other books like Paper Towns, Looking for
Mhm.
Alaska. So it was like that like
I feel like
group of like people.
You and
Iconic.
John.
wait,
That-
yeah, I have
That was
a
me and
picture.
John.
Yeah.
I think
It
Isabella and I
was
also have a
on,
video
So
together.
Aaron's
cute.
IP when we were on set together.
Oh my god, me and John were recreating the Fault in Our
I just
Stars.
had that recovered memory.
I love that.
So good.
I have a let me find that video of me and Isabella doing it too, because
We were
I
all
have
like
a-
laying on the floor for some reason, and we were like, "Oh my god!"
I think
there's- there's a
just
Fault in Our-
shot, so they
it was
wanted
a shot,
to test
and we
it.
were standing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta be the stand-ins.
And I think they called it the Fault in Our Stars shot.
Yeah.
Like,
So cute. See,
That's the
exactly.
thing, like it's
Now
still,
it's the
like,
Fault in Our Stars
everyone
shot.
knows. Yeah, like if you do that, like you lay like opposite, like everyone knows it's Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, exactly.
here we go.
And that was when like Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort were in like every
Oh my
movie.
god. Yeah.
Oh my god, Fault in
Yeah,
Our
they
Stars.
were
I
in
look
the-
like a
I
ghost.
like film Joseph just like walking
Oh my
over.
god, Ghost.
Ghost.
But no, I think also like it
It's
just
fun,
started
though.
a brand
No,
of
exactly. Like it did.
Yeah.
like, mhm.
And
a whole
it's
brand of, like-
definitely, I feel like this like book to movie captivates like that whole genre of adaptations where it's like capturing the teen audience and like, but it also like it's like timeless in a way because it like everyone now knows like Fault in Our
'Cause-
Stars references and like all that stuff.
Exactly. No, like
Exactly. Everyone's trying to like recreate the Fault in Our Stars.
I was just
now.
gonna say there's been a lot of movies that have been
It's-
like it.
That's like the branding for like our teenage generation was like the tragic love story,
Yeah,
the tragic teen
Yeah.
it's like
love
Romeo
story.
and Juliet.
Yeah,
yes,
Love on her.
yes. I remember
Ooh.
with me, I was like okay, my story is just like, so I read the book when I was in 7th grade, like before the movie came out. I read it like the summer going into it, and I remember sobbing in my mom's new house. I was crying really hard, and then of course 8th grade came around, the movie came out, and everyone wanted to see it. Everyone was like so excited.
everyone.
My friend,
I remember
my
that.
best friend at the time, I remember like we're it was just funny. So like she got really into it, and like, you know, being friends is like, oh, we have our things, and like she was trying to make Fault in Our Stars her thing. And I remember she like got the book and then she reread it like 3 times. She highlighted like, you know, her book was like, I marked my favorite quotes and stuff. And then she went to go see the midnight
Classic.
screening and stuff, and like got a
Oh
poster.
my
And I remember
God.
after that I like said like, I remember I was on like that said I read it before it was popular. Like I was that it's like I was like,
yeah.
oh, I read it before it was popular, guys. And I refused to see it for the longest
That's
time.
so funny.
I was like, what's that word? Like
Like
I boycotted the movie just
Yeah.
because like I wanted to be
Oh
cool.
God.
that's
And I
another
finally
thing that
watched it
happens.
like my sophomore or junior year of high school. I watched it and I thought it was still pretty good. And then I found this drawing I did of like all the references when I did in like middle school.
Oh my
Like,
god.
okay,
Oh, everyone did that. That was a classic too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I put like Time to Slut. I fell in love the way you fall asleep slowly and then all at once. I wouldn't mind Hazel Grace. I'm a grenade, and then everyone's favorite.
No, it's so.
Oh my
Oh my god!
don't
And
say
like,
It's a metaphor. You put the killing
my
thing between
God.
your teeth, but you don't give it the power to do its killing.
and like Gus was like such a blueprint for like all those like
Oh
the
yeah.
edgy boys, the
Like
emo.
the deep, like
Yeah.
he
Exactly.
like has a sensitive side. Like
Mhm.
Like,
whatever.
oh, he speaks in metaphors. He's
Yeah,
so
like-
mysterious.
yeah, mysterious.
Mhm. It's like
Because I feel like before that it was always like everyone wants like the quirky, like nerdy guy. Like they're always like the underdogs. But then like
mhm.
Mhm.
the Fault in Our Stars was like, oh, like now everyone wants like
Like-
the soft boy. Like, oh my
Mhm.
god.
Soft boy, that's it.
Soft
Soft
boy.
boy,
Yeah, that's
soft
what it was,
boy.
soft boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It was
I agree with
it's
that.
one of those things. Like if I was 20 and I saw this movie, best believe I would have a tattoo of like one of these movies, like one of these quotes on
Oh
me.
my
You know what I mean?
gosh.
Like
Yeah.
That's
it
why
was
I'm scared
very-
to get a tattoo, because I'm gonna get a tattoo of like one small moment in my life, and then like, because like now it'd be kind of cringy if I had like a Fault in Our Stars tattoo, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna regret it forever.
Mhm.
You know what?
True.
People can do what they want though, but
Yeah, people do
Yeah.
just for me.
Me, my tattoo, one small moment of my life.
Yeah.
Is that me
Like-
next time?
Yours
No,
is
no,
very
no.
like universal though.
Yeah, if I had like what's the quote, like I'm a grenade or whatever.
Exactly. If it
Yeah.
was like okay,
Okay.
like something like that, yeah.
Can
Didn't,
okay,
like-
what is it? Can okay be our always?
Yeah, maybe
I think
okay will be
so.
our always. I think like
Oh my god,
we were watching
I ate that
like,
up when I was a kid.
we were
We all
watching
did.
Sunset Boulevard like recently with our group, and Isabella and we were saying something. Let me find this picture, but I took a picture of it, and like it was like they were saying yeah, and I said maybe yeah will be our
Oh,
always,
yeah.
and I took a picture of like us
Yeah,
doing
well,
it. Let me where donde está my guy? Sorry,
So
I
funny.
need to take a second to like.
Yeah, we can
That's
move
so
on
right,
from
though.
the Fault
He
in Our
is, like-
Stars, but
He is the blueprint for like that kind of guy.
yeah, because I feel like
That's totally what it
Jughead
is for our generation.
Oh no, it was
wishes he could be
haha.
Gus.
Wishes.
It was haha. Basically, like it was like I'll maybe send the picture, but it was like haha, and I put haha.
Haha? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
like, I don't think about that. I'm like, damn, he really was the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Cultural
No, he
like
was.
milestones for our generation, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That gives me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
And on that note, better think about all of this tonight, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna let this simmer. I'm changing my final paper.
That would be so funny though if we talked about that for our final paper.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like too after this, like, this was like the start of like John Green's like, wave of like fame. Like he was not known, and then suddenly he went like, and like everyone knew his name. Like,
all the teen girls were like.
I think the best way. Who was the guy who did the Breakfast Club and like
John Hughes.
John Hughes is kind of like John Green was like almost kind of became like a John Hughes or something ish, like for a little bit, but he didn't keep up his momentum for a long time. But like,
and it's like how John Hughes is like, he's kind of like the voice of like the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's like John Green is, like,
is definitely like the 2010s.
Yeah.
Sort of like.
Yeah. That's the best way I think I could describe it. Was like, it's like when I show my kids this, they're gonna like have a vibe to it. Like, oh, this is the vibe, like 2000.
Yeah. When I show my kids.
And the book cover, kind of iconic. Honestly.
Iconic.
I think it's supposed to be like a reference to
so iconic.
Julius Caesar was like, maybe the fault is not maybe the fault is like not in our stars, or maybe the fault is not in us but in the stars. I remember like
I can believe that.
Like from my English teacher. Julius Caesar quote Fault in Our Stars.
We've talked a lot about the Fault in Our Stars.
I know, we're getting into it.
It was
I'll write a whole thesis on it tonight.
Yeah, it's like the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves.
Oh.
Tea.
But that we'll leave it on that. We'll leave it on that. And we'll go to our next movie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm back.
Are we ready?
Yes. Okay. So I kind of we're going a little like, it's a little bit of a stretch here, but I've been thinking about this a lot recently. So like, we all know that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey was made into a movie in the 70s. I think 70s. And like, we all know that movie, and the whole thing with that, like, and I feel like I've talked about this before because we have talked about the movie before. Yeah. But it's like that adaptation is interesting, like, for lack of a better term, because the book and the movie are from two different characters' perspectives. So like the movie took liberty to take a completely different character and make it his perspective, or like make him the main character in the movie when he was not really the main character in the book. I haven't finished the book. I've been reading it for like years, and I don't know why I can't finish it for the life of me. But I've done a lot of research on like, it is problematic because in the book, the perspective or the main character is a Native American man. I'm totally forgetting his name.
Yeah.
Chief.
But then in the Chief, yeah.
Right.
I think so. Maybe. But then in the movie, it's like the Jack Nicholson character is the main guy, and like I think it totally speaks to the ways that adaptations can be twisted to be commercialized in film and to be like, because obviously like Jack Nicholson is a huge star, so like you want to like put him whenever, and like I don't know, it's very interesting how adaptations, even though you're taking from something so concrete, there's still ways that creators can like twist it to their own advantage and like twist it to make it so like representation isn't what it was in the book, or like, and I think that really speaks volumes about the film industry as a whole. Even in the 70s, like I feel like that stuff still probably happens today, where it's like you have this character that, and I'm not saying like the representation of any character is like good or bad, because again, I haven't fully read the book and I haven't seen the movie in a while, but yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting that like they decided to go that way. But I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to focus on the new TV show Ratched, which is obviously not like a direct adaptation. It's a spin-off of the like main antagonist in the film. And I don't know. I think it's interesting how you can spin off so many different ways like from an adaptation, because you do have characters that people like love to hate or like they fall in love with and you want to like see a spin-off with them. And I do love a good like backstory, and I love a good like villain story. But I felt like this one kind of faltered in a way, because it kind of I like when a spin-off, you can see how it is tied to like what it is originated from, if that makes sense. And like this one didn't tie into it at all. Like there were some small like references to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and like obviously you knew in like however many years like this is where she's going to end up, so it's like showing how she gets into nursing and how she does this and that. And for that aspect, like showing how she's getting into nursing, I thought was interesting. But then it kind of took a turn where it was like she's like killing all these people and like she's like doing this and that, and it kind of like got a little too Ryan Murphy for me. Like, hate to say it, but like because I
understand
love,
though,
like, you know, American Horror Story, like all that, but I don't know. Yeah, but like I don't know, it just got to be a little too much. And the bone that I have to pick with it is that if you're going to do a spin-off and have it be a prequel of something that is very well known, like both in book and movie form, you can't have the prequel end on a cliffhanger that is supposed to be like scary or like something's going to happen when you know where this character ends up already because you've seen the movie or you've read the book. Like basically they ended it, like spoilers, but like they ended it as if like, ooh, someone's out to get her and someone's going to kill her, but it's like obviously they don't, because she's in this movie like however many years down the road. So I think, I don't know, I picked this one to talk about because I think we've been talking about a lot of like successful adaptations and like really culturally important ones, but I feel like this one kind of like missed the mark. And like you can do a spin-off in a cool way, but this one like in my opinion at least.
What's a successful spin-off, you think?
What?
What's a successful spin-off that you've heard of?
I'm trying to think of like prequels. Like I tend to think of prequels in that way. I can't think like off the top of my head. I'll get back to you, but like I don't know. This one to me, I just like.
I'm gonna turn on my light.
I wasn't into it. Well, okay, here we go. A successful sort of spin-off is the Watchmen TV series because.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Because it comes from a graphic novel, and then there was a movie based off the graphic novel, and then there was a TV show, which is like in the future, and it makes very good references to those characters and to those situations, and it has some of the same characters, but it's a whole new story, but it's the same world. So it like I think that's a very successful way to do a spin-off or like a sequel in that sort of way from an adaptation. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Good. Hi, you passed my test.
Thank you.
I was asking like, I felt like our Professor Fury, where I was like, so what is a good spin-off, you think?
Yeah, it's like support your thought, please.
Yeah, support it with 5 sources, please.
Yeah.
5
yeah, I do
examples.
thank you for sharing like a kind of like not the best adaptation we can have. You know what I mean? Because we like to hype up.
It definitely has like its points where I did like it, but overall, in terms of like an adaptation and like a spin-off of an adaptation, I was kind of like, eh. But yeah, some people like that though, when it doesn't really have to do with like the original. I'm like, eh. I kind of like when it has a lot of tie-ins and I can like connect the dots.
I just thought of a successful spin-off.
Ooh, what?
The Mandalorian.
There
The Star Wars spin-off show, because they just dropped season 2 and I've been watching it, and like,
is it good?
I think it's really like well done. I think what makes it work is like what you just said, like the peppering of like the little Easter eggs to like the original series. I think is what makes it work. And I think the Mandalorian, like, I think that they have like a lot of fun with it, and they're like really expanding on like this huge world. Yeah, so that's always really fun.
That's a really good example.
Yeah, it is. I like need to I need
Sorry.
to try it again because with me like it's really hard for me to connect to a character with a mask on the whole time. But like, I
Then
don't
you
know,
won't
I heard
like
it's
feel
really
Watchmen.
good. Yeah.
You're not
No, you will.
like you are supposed to connect to the Mandalorian, but like it's not like you're supposed to like totally empathize with him. I think it's like,
Okay.
well, Baby Yoda steals the whole show.
BB
So
Yoda.
you almost want to empathize with Baby Yoda
Mhm.
or the kid, whatever like he's
Mhm.
called,
Yeah.
more than like the Mandalorian.
The child. I think
himself.
it's the child.
The child, yeah. They call him
The
like a bunch of different things.
Yeah. Also, but like the reason, so like I first I'm like I have no intent on watching it, but then we did not know Ahsoka Tano, like my favorite character in the whole Star Wars series, apparently shows up.
Oh.
And I watched it last night, and she does appear in the episode.
Like I need to watch it now
So
because
now
she
you
is my
got it.
favorite character. So it's like you know top tier like my favorite Star Wars characters of all time is Ahsoka Tano. So I need to like I guess watch
Now
it.
you
My
got
dad
It was
watched
good. It was a
one.
good episode.
Yeah. So yeah, but I guess any other final words, and we'll get to the last
Yeah.
book
Let's
adaptation.
take it home.
Take it home. So speaking of Ansel Elgort, we got because Ansel Elgort went to the same school as Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I was like, what?
Oh, I was like, girl,
Yeah.
what?
I was like, that's Army
I forgot what you were
Hammer.
talking about. I was like,
Yeah, that wasn't a smooth transition, but hello, yes, I'm
It's
talking
okay,
about
we
Call Me
got
by Your
there.
Name. And before we talk about it, yes, there is controversial opinions, but however, we will not talk about that. We are just talking about the adaptation from book to screen, so please do not come at us.
What are the
Or-
controversial? Is it like the age thing?
Yeah, the age gap. Some
Okay.
people get really like
That's fair.
passionate, so I'm just like a disclaimer or trigger warning if you do not like the book or the movie, like you can click off the video, just a trigger warning, I guess. But no, we were only talking about the content, not the content itself, but like kind of like just the book
Like how it was adapted.
and how it was adapted. Yes. So you know how we talked about how you can't fit everything from I have the book here. You can't fit everything from like a book to screen adaptation. I think this book does like a lot. They really drag every piece of it from the book to the movie except the ending of it. So I think we've all seen this movie, but I am the only one who read the book. Same thing. I
still
read.
want to read it.
Well, I have it here. Do you want it? Here.
Thanks.
So I watched the movie like when it first came out in 2017. I loved it. Very personal to me, I think, because I was going through a breakup. And then I read the book when I was in Paris, also going through a breakup.
Wait,
Wow.
that's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but like.
It is full circle.
But yeah.
But so basically, I guess this copy of the book's really personal to me. So I got it at Shakespeare and Company. So I have the little stamp that says I got it from Shakespeare and
Cute.
Co. I read it on the Metro a lot, so it very much takes me back. And I read it on the way to see Hunter in Cannes. And then I guess I
That's
read it
very
a lot.
Paris, like European travel vibes.
So yeah, I think it's definitely how when Hunter was talking about the hours, is that what it's called? Yes, the hours.
Yeah.
When she read the hours, like there's a lot of poetry in this book. It's so beautiful, beautifully written, and not to mention it also was adapted from it won Best Adapted Screenplay. And for those who do not know the difference between adapted screenplay and an original screenplay, as you can now kind of understand, adapted screenplay is when it's adapted from a previous source material, whether it be a book or like a comic book or a video game. And so won the award for that. I think it was well deserved. I think it's so beautifully written. And yeah, not only it did jumpstart Timothy Chalamet's like career too, in that sense. Like now everyone knows him.
This is like
no
his
one
big
knew
year. Because wasn't
Yeah, that's when
Lady
Lady
Bird
Bird came out too.
Yeah. So he was like,
yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Especially
yeah.
after
Oh my
this
god,
movie, I remember.
Timmy.
Mhm.
So yeah, like when I read the book, I think it's like I said, it's like it's only like a 200-page book, 248
Really?
to be exact. It's
Wow.
really short. It looks thick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's not that thick. It's
Interesting.
like even looks like pretty like small too, but like
Mhm.
maybe I don't know, maybe that the pages are just a little thicker. I don't know, but only 200-page book. It's kind of surprising. So yeah, they do fit a lot. The ending's really different. They made a sequel to the. I don't understand why they made a sequel to the book Find Me.
Oh yeah.
I didn't read it, but I just kind of like I recommend like just read this because it does give you closure. I will tell you, the book gives you closure while the movie doesn't. So like,
Oh, yeah.
Really?
yeah, like the book.
I did not know
'cause, like,
that.
so like the book actually the last like so like in the book they're only it's put into 4 parts. So basically the first 3 parts is in when they're together in Italy, and I think the last part is all after that, where basically they go through each other's lives and like what they do after. So it goes like after like Timothy, like when not Timothy, what's his,
Timothy.
what, oh my gosh, what is his name?
Elio, right?
Elio.
Elio, yeah. When
I don't know
Elio
what
and
that other guy's name is.
Oliver, right?
Oliver and Elio and
Wait,
Oliver.
there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
The database.
Elio, like basically, it goes like to like when he's in college and like when Oliver has like
Dang.
children and gets married, because you know in the end of the movie, spoiler, he does like tell Elio that he's married, he's getting married. And but in the book, he tells him instead of over a phone call, he tells him like face to face, like he comes back, he visits and comes back.
Why did I just get the chills?
So basically, like the
Oh.
book does give you closure. It's really, I cried harder like
That's so
reading
sad.
the
What the
book.
heck?
I know
That
it's
is
really it's
sad.
very tragic and sad. So like
I remember
yeah.
being very emotional in the theater seeing this movie.
I like saw it in theater.
I
I
didn't see it in
remember
theaters. I wish I did though.
it was really hard to find it playing in a theater.
It's
I saw
so
it like my
pretty.
local my
Oh my
local artsy
gosh,
theater.
it's so pretty. I wanted to like be them, just like chilling
Yeah,
by
just
the pool,
frolicking around
like
Italy.
when they'd ride their bikes into town. Oh,
Oh, so good.
So
That was like
no, yeah.
that part in Normal People where they're like riding their bikes. That reminded me of Call Me
Speaking
by
of
Your
normal people, I was really tough
Oh,
decision between
yeah.
talking about normal people and this one. We decided to talk about Call Me by Your Name because we haven't talked about it yet. But maybe I'll talk about normal people like at a later date. But let's just say, the only thing I'll say about normal people, I think the TV series is it made me cry harder than when I read the book. That's the only thing I'll say. And
Interesting.
yeah, so yeah, like
Oh,
I just think Call Me by Your Name is
I
a
gotta
very
watch
like
it again.
yeah, it's one of those movies I do like watching a lot, and it's very wise and poetic. I think in the front says like a beautiful and wise book, a miracle from Colin Toybin, author of Brooklyn, or the guy who wrote Brooklyn, that book that was adapted
Oh.
from the movie with Saoirse Ronan.
Is Saoirse Ronan in that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Connections.
Connections, always connections.
Always connections.
My AirPods
Oh,
are
that.
died, so gotta get to the other one. So yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but yes, I think that it's a very faithful adaptation. If you're like, read. I say like I think for this group, watch the movie and then read the book. I recommend that. Like I
Interesting.
think I still had a really good time reading the book despite knowing like the. Actually, I didn't know the ending to the book because the book's very different when the ending happens. So I feel like if
That's
you read the book
interesting.
and watched the movie, you'd be very disappointed. I agree. Like I think that.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially with like such a different ending.
It's like different but isn't. It's like same but different. It's hard
Or
to
like cut off in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just don't include.
Yes, but yes, I think. Yeah, I wanted to say something else, but I forget. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. Oh my gosh, wait. Here, another quote from Tom Tobin on this cover too. A superb novel about the senses light of the Mediterranean summer. I
don't know what that word is.
Langoris.
Langoris? I've never heard that word in my life.
Laborious?
Oh my God, you were struggling so hard. That was really funny.
Days and nights filled with desire.
Wonderful.
I guess he was a very big fan of the book.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, but
I felt like that was a really good roundup of a lot of different like different ways, like different types of adaptations. Like good and bad, mostly good.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been interesting to talk about bad ones.
Maybe we'll do that later.
Maybe we'll do an episode based on like really bad movies. I don't know.
Maybe an episode our least favorite movies and TV shows.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That would be
funny.
All right, that would be a lot of fun.
I already have one in mind.
There'd be some fights. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Ooh, the database
yeah.
is going.
Database. Okay, so I think I'll stop
the archives.
the sharing
Scrolling through.
here. Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
Another episode down the drain. We did it.
Exciting.
We made it, y'all.
Comment down below if you agree with our opinions on these adaptations and what your favorite adaptations are. Or at least favorite.
Always favorite, yeah. Recommendations too. Give us some
Oh, as
Always
always,
looking for some.
love recommendations.
I'm a big reader too. I guess some what's that word? What's the thing when Watch Mojo's like, oh, the things that didn't make it to number one.
Oh,
Oh my
special-
god.
I'm
Honorable
blanking.
mentions.
Honorable
Honorable
mentions. Honorable
I
mentions.
miss Miss Mojo, man. I haven't watched her
Yeah.
in so long.
We got, I guess, I want to talk about normal people. Another one I was
That's a good
thinking
one.
that Isabella should talk about, because I read the book too, was the Disaster Artist.
Yes.
thought that was good
Oh my
too.
god.
And
Love
then-
that movie.
And then Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So
Yeah, honorable mention.
I'm a big book reader. It's like one of those things. I think for a while,
I need
like
to be
You're
a
well,
better book
so
reader.
smart.
it was just
Yeah,
it was
I
so
would.
funny. No, like with I think like how Hunter's always like, when I was in film thing, I took a film program. We watched this movie, and like with me, I would just be like, I read this book, like, and like
call
you're
me
like, what the
out.
heck? No, it's like it's just funny, but like I think for a little bit in the beginning of summer, it was like Isabel's like, oh, I'm gonna read The Disaster Artist, and I'd be like, yeah, I read that book, and like shit like that, and like, yeah, I read that, and like
The one
I
book
read,
that I've read in like 3 years.
Me. Oh my god.
yeah. When I went back to Paris, when I went to
was like,
Paris.
what?
I mean, I went to Paris when I was a baby. When I went to Paris, I became like a bookworm because I took the Metro a lot and got to
Fair.
yeah. And I didn't have like data really on my phone, so I just read a lot. So I was a big bookworm. I was like
Reading is good.
I was that bitch that's like, I'm gonna go to a cafe and read my book.
Cafe.
I love
Yeah.
being that girl sometimes.
And I used to read
Rarely.
a lot when I go to bed.
But when
yeah.
I do, that's fun.
But yeah, give us some book recommendations. I'm always down
Yeah.
for a good book.
Tell us what you're
And
reading.
Tell us what you're reading. I guess this video will probably be up the weekend before finals. So good luck on
Oh,
finals,
yeah.
everyone.
Good luck.
Good vibes. And we probably won't see
Good
you till
vibes.
after, like, maybe right after Christmas, before Christmas. Or maybe to a Christmas special.
Yeah, I love Christmas.
Mhm. Are you sarcastic?
I'm kidding. We could do a 21st birthday special.
What? So confused.
The big 2-1.
Because I'm going to be turning
Oh,
20.
yeah, Hunter's birthday's coming up.
That didn't land.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, they said 25th. I'm like, what? 25th?
I'm turning 25.
And I was like, 25th anniversary of what? Yes, of course, Hunter. I know your birthday's coming up. Isabel and I were talking about it. What the heck? So now we gotta go.
I'm gonna look forward to.
I'm excited.
I
Anyway,
guess it'll be Hunter's choice of movie or fun
Oh, no.
code or game. Yes, Hunter's choice. Hunter's choice. Hunter's choice.
all right. I'll think. I'll ponder.
Well,
Well-
yeah, maybe we'll play a game. Any friends, maybe family, you want to play a game with us? We're always looking for people to play games with,
Yeah.
and we need competition. Make sure Isabella loses.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Michelle
I'm
needs a
just
new
kidding.
home.
I will stay in
Michelle
first
needs a new
place
home.
forever.
Yeah, what if she just wins everyone? Forever.
What if I just never get rid of her?
Yeah.
Hey, I can't complain. We're BFS now, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I
everyone,
dusted my shelf off for
good.
nothing.
have a good day, night.
Have a
Thanks for
good
watching, everyone.
night.
Wherever you are. luck on
Have a good
finals.
finals. Good Christmas. Hope you have a good
Holiday
Thanksgiving.
season.
Happy holidays. We'll see you.
See you soon, y'all. Goodbye.
Bye.